Okay, this video I'm going to talk about pellet tension. Pellet tension is, here's a barrel here, is how much force is needed when the pellet goes down the barrel to break itself free. Kind of like popping a cork on a wine bottle or something like that, where it just builds up so much pressure and that it finally releases. And I've got 3 pellets here. A lot of people get the Craftsman pointed confused with the Craftsman super point, and then of course you've got the Craftsman heavy, the Premier. I actually call it a heavy 10.5 grain. Now the difference between these 3 Craftsman pellets, and the reason why I'm using these today for the video, is because these are popular pellets that most people can buy, and I wanted to use these for the test. I do have some fancy pellets, but I'm just sticking with Craftsman now for this video. So anyway, the Craftsman pointed is 7.4 grain, the Craftsman super point is 7.9, and the Craftsman Premier heavy is 10.5. Now with Craftsman pointed, sometimes you will find batches that are 7.9 grain instead of 7.4, but the reason why it's 7.4 is because they drilled it out a little further. So some batches kind of vary whether they're 7.4 or 7.9, but you can tell by the back end it will be drilled out a little bit further down. Like this one here is drilled out further down, which makes it a 7.4, whereas the super point is more flat. So let me get on with the tension here. What I did is I hooked up a scale with this stick right here, and this is not perfectly 100% accurate. This is just for reference. I just did this experiment. I found that the Craftsman pointed 7.4 grain, it had 3/4 pound of tension, that one right there, and then I'll show you a close-up of these later. Craftsman super point was a really snug pellet, and you can tell when you put it in, was 2 pounds. And Craftsman heavy, which was really good too, this one's 10.5 grain, this is 1.5 pounds of tension. So tension is kind of important because if a pellet is too loose, it's a sign that it's not grabbing the rifling, and you need rifling for accuracy. Otherwise what happens is the head of the pellet, let's say that the skirt gets rifling but the head doesn't get rifling, it's going to wobble like this. It's going to wobble back and forth in the barrel, and that's typical of your muzzle loading ball shot. Back then they had a wad and they had a ball in there, and the ball would go back and forth and jiggle around, so you wouldn't be able to hit much with it. Same thing with pellets, that the head and the skirt must impart rifling. If they don't, that's a sign that something's wrong. Now this barrel is going to be different than other barrels that you might have in your other air guns. This one here is a choked barrel. It's not as tight as a Lothar Walther, but it is a very choked barrel. So each barrel is going to be different with each pellet. Now if you put these in Daisy 880 like I have over in the corner there, my rifle, the tension will go down because Daisy doesn't have as much of a choked barrel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a whole different video on rifling and barrels, so you know what the difference is between a choked barrel and just a regular standard barrel. So anyway, pellet tension, let me show you these pellets close up here. You can go in my videos. I have on my front page I have a video collection of ammo, and I have 37 videos on different pellets. You can see real super close-ups on them. So don't forget to watch my rifling barrel. I'm going to be doing that too. So I'm going to give you all the old school secrets here from the old timer. So I'm not an old timer, but Tom Gaylord and some other famous people you might know in the airgun world. I learned a lot from them. I also added some things on my own. But here you see the pellets. Craftsman pointed right there. Well, let's see, maybe I can get it up on the stick for you. Oh, maybe not today. Okay. Well, anyway, you guys know what these are. This is the super point. It's got a wide base at the head, so it grabs the rifling better, and that explains why it's so tight. whereas the Crossman pointed, you got a thin edge right here at the head. And of course you got the Crossman Heavy, the 10.5. This one does really well too for grabbing the rifling. So this one here was the loosest. So depending on what kind of gun or what kind of barrel you have, some of you guys should go out in the field and do some real long shots with like this one and this one. You know, just experiment with super point versus Crossman pointed, and tell me what you think, how it does in your rifle. So anyway, appreciate it if you'd watch my rifling video. That's gonna be coming up here, and just look for pellet slash rifling barrels or rifled barrels, and I'm gonna be talking about what you want to look for in a pellet as far as rifling to give it that spin that it needs for long range accuracy. So thanks for watching.